In 2025, the world economy is shifting faster than ever. With Donald Trump's return to the White House and his decision to impose heavy 50% tariffs on imports, global trade has been shaken. Many countries that once relied heavily on the United States are now turning their attention toward India, one of the fastest-growing economies and a rising global power. From Asia to Europe, nations are looking to India for new trade partnerships, technology, energy, and manufacturing opportunities. Today, we'll explore the 10 countries that are turning to India after Trump's tariffs in 2025. 10. Brazil. Brazil, already a BRICS partner, has strengthened its ties with India in the wake of U.S. tariffs. Both nations are diversifying away from U.S. markets by expanding trade in agriculture, energy, and manufacturing. Brazil relies on India for pharmaceuticals and technology, while India imports soybeans and oil. With Trump's 50% tariff hurting Brazil's trade with the U.S., Brazil sees India as a stable partner in South-South cooperation. Recent bilateral talks under BRICS have focused on easing tariffs, building supply chains, and enhancing maritime routes, making India an alternative export market for Brazil's goods and a source of investment. 9. United Kingdom. Post-Brexit, the UK has been keen on diversifying its trade network, and Trump's aggressive tariffs only accelerated this trend. India presents a large, dynamic market for British goods such as machinery, education services, and luxury products. Negotiations for an India-UK Free Trade Agreement, FTA, have gained momentum as businesses in both countries look to bypass U.S. trade turbulence. India also exports IT services, textiles, and pharmaceuticals to the UK at competitive rates. The historic ties between the two nations are now transforming into a modern economic alliance, with London and New Delhi aiming for a long-term strategic partnership. 8. European Union. The EU, frustrated by Trump's unilateral tariff hikes, has intensified its efforts to collaborate with India. Europe's automobile, machinery, and renewable energy sectors see India as a growing market, while Europe remains a lucrative destination for Indian textiles, gems, and software services. The proposed India-EU FTA is being fast-tracked to protect businesses from U.S.-induced trade disruptions. Furthermore, both parties are exploring cooperation on climate change technologies and green energy projects. For the EU, India offers both market access and a political ally in maintaining global trade stability, reducing its reliance on unpredictable U.S. policies under Trump. 7. Russia. Russia's deepening isolation from the West has driven it closer to India. Under Trump's tariffs, Moscow sees India as a key alternative for both exports and imports. Energy trade dominates the partnership. India imports oil, gas, and defense equipment from Russia, while exporting pharmaceuticals, tea, and textiles. The BRICS alliance provides a platform for further economic cooperation. With Western sanctions limiting Russia's trade, India's large consumer market offers stability. Both nations are also pushing for greater use of local currencies in bilateral trade, helping them bypass U.S. financial dominance and building resilience against external economic shocks. 6. China. Although India and China have a competitive relationship, Trump's tariff war with multiple countries has created openings for pragmatic cooperation. China, facing tariffs from Washington, is also seeking to diversify trade flows within Asia. India provides a large consumer base for Chinese electronics, machinery, and intermediate goods. At the same time, Indian agricultural and pharmaceutical products are gaining traction in the Chinese market. Platforms like BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, have enabled cautious collaboration. Despite tensions, both nations recognize the mutual benefits of reducing dependence on the U.S. and expanding intra-Asian economic ties in 2025. 5. United Arab Emirates. The UAE, already India's top trading partner in the Middle East, is deepening its trade links with New Delhi amid global tariff tensions. Indian businesses supply food, textiles, gems, and IT services to the UAE, while the Gulf nation provides oil, infrastructure investments, and remittances. The Trump tariffs have encouraged the UAE to rely more on India as a manufacturing and supply hub for Asia and Africa. Both countries are also investing in logistics through the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, IMEC, making India an even more central player in global trade as U.S. tariffs disrupt old supply chains. 4. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, an energy powerhouse, has increased its partnership with India due to shifting global trade. As U.S. tariffs impact multiple countries, Riyadh is strengthening its energy exports to India, which is now one of the largest buyers of Saudi oil. In return, India provides manpower, engineering services, and consumer goods. The Trump tariff shock has accelerated efforts to move beyond oil toward investment in renewable energy and joint ventures. With over 2 million Indians living in Saudi Arabia, the relationship is not only economic but also social, making India a natural partner in a time of uncertainty. 3. South Africa. South Africa, another BRICS member, is leaning on India as a trade partner after Trump's protectionist policies disrupted global commerce. India imports South African minerals, wines, and agricultural goods, while exporting machinery, chemicals, and IT services. Both nations are pushing for stronger South-South cooperation to reduce dependency on Western markets. South Africa also sees India as a bridge to Asian supply chains, while India benefits from African access to rare minerals critical for its manufacturing sector. In 2025, trade missions and joint business councils have accelerated partnerships, positioning both countries as leaders of the global South. 2. Indonesia. Indonesia, Southeast Asia's largest economy, is increasingly shifting its trade strategy toward India. Trump's tariffs on multiple Asian exports to the U.S. have disrupted Indonesia's reliance on American markets. India provides a massive consumer base for Indonesian coal, palm oil, and rubber. In return, India exports pharmaceuticals, rice, and engineering products. Both countries, as part of ASEAN-India frameworks, are also working on improving maritime trade routes across the Indian Ocean. By cooperating more closely, Jakarta and New Delhi are building a resilient trade partnership that lessens exposure to U.S. market volatility and strengthens Asia's intra-regional commerce. 1. Japan. Japan, a longtime U.S. ally, has been forced to rethink trade strategies under Trump's aggressive tariffs. Seeking to secure stable trade routes, Tokyo has leaned toward India as a trusted partner in Asia. Japan's investments in India include automobiles, electronics, and infrastructure projects, while India exports IT services, pharmaceuticals, and agricultural goods. With the U.S. market becoming riskier, Japan is doubling down on its India Plus strategy, encouraging companies to expand in India. This partnership also extends beyond trade, with collaboration on technology, defense, and supply chain diversification, making Japan a top nation turning to India in 2025. As you can see, Trump's tariffs may have disrupted old trade routes, but they have also opened new doors for India. From BRICS partners like Brazil and Russia to allies like Japan and the UK, India is becoming the go-to partner for nations seeking stability and growth. This global shift could redefine the future of world trade. Do you think India can truly replace the US as a global trade hub in the future? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you think.